I
jewelry
could
making.
see you guys
Yeah,
being
all
like
that stuff.
dwarves, like the mythical dwarves,
Right.
Living in a mountain, hitting an anvil.
All of those things are things we want to do.
Welcome to The Cauldron, a podcast hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. In each episode, Ed and Jacob will have free-flowing conversations about life, culture, and personal growth. Expect to hear from storytellers, authors, experts, life gurus, thought leaders, and influencers. The Cauldron is a place where concoctions of a lot of ideas are brewed down to potions that are sometimes important and useful, sometimes eccentric and bizarre, but always just what you need. The Cauldron podcast may contain explicit language and thematic elements not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
No thought too dumb.
No question too deep.
The conversation starts here. Welcome to The Cauldron.
Hey, Jacob, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Man. Were you raised in a barn? Shut that door.
Well, what? I didn't come in here last. Hold
Dude,
on.
okay, well, let the listeners, we'll let it run, edit it, but wait till you can hear this fucking leaf blower. We're going to edit it. We don't know how long it'll take, but... Do you hear that? They are leaf blowing right outside the fucking door. And you know what? Leave that in. Leave that in, Nick. I want them to know that it doesn't matter if it's at the old G spot, it doesn't matter if it's at work, at the school, it doesn't matter if we're here now. These things follow me like fucking Pennywise the clown.
Oh, Pennywise was great at CreepyCon.
Dude, yeah, there were quite a few of them. Oh, the cute little baby dressed as Pennywise. Oh,
That's
my
what I was
God.
talking about. So what have you been doing this man week? What?
What have you been doing this
What did
man
I
week?
just say?
The man week?
I don't have words. So we are not drunk yet.
No, yeah.
So Jacob, what have you been doing this week? CreepyCon a week ago.
Man, I've just been really getting back into card games, specifically Magic the Gathering, pretty hard. I mean, that's something that I always played I started as a teenager, I'm pretty sure, playing it. Well, hold on. Before I get into it real quick, let's play our card game here in the G spot.
Okay.
All
Let
right.
me get my own cards.
Dumb questions to ask your friends.
It's your dumb friends.
Dumb friends. All right, I'm gonna start us off.
Okay.
What food?
What category is this?
This one's food.
Okay.
What food do you
Pizza.
hate the texture of?
Oh, no.
Retract that answer.
Retract that. Let's see. What food do I hate the texture of? Oh, my God. There's so many. Shrimp.
Yeah, but really?
I can't stand the taste is okay. It's just okay. I don't go crazy over it like
Like the
everybody
actual
else.
meat?
Yeah, it's gross.
The more I think about it,
texture.
the more I don't like it. But
Yeah.
man, I love the taste of it. I love the taste of shrimp.
The same kind of texture. Oranges, especially tangerines.
You know, now that you say that, I don't think I've ever seen you eat an orange. I've seen you eat like a lemon, but I think the texture's a little bit different.
A little bit different. Yeah, so that kind of thing, that pulpy, I can't drink orange juice with pulp in it.
You ever eaten a bug before?
Yes.
It's kind of like that
Yeah.
texture when you really think. I mean, a shrimp is really just the bug of the
It's
sea.
just a bug of sea. Okay, let's see. Mine. Well, what's yours, by the way?
Texture, I mean, it's a specific type. It's not like one thing, but any sandwich that has things on it where the bread gets soggy. I fucking hate that. Like slimy bread, no, I'm good. I love bread pudding. That's
What
the
about-
weird exception for me.
What about steam sandwiches? Where they're supposed to be kind of that way.
But the outer crust will usually stay rigid, right? I'm talking like if the crust gets soggy.
I got you. I can see that. I'll reference one that I don't want you to ever buy then.
Okay.
At Arby's, their cheesesteak, it's just slime.
God.
I can't order it anymore.
It makes me want to gag, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking gross.
Okay, numbers.
Numbers.
How many hours should you concentrate for until you deserve a little treat? We'll read that again because this is a weird one. How many hours should you concentrate for until you deserve a little treat? These are written on these cards so weird.
I know the fucking grammar on this. If these are for your dumb friends, it's proven it. We're struggling.
We're struggling.
I would say I look at things like when I concentrate, like especially when I'm at work, you know, if I work for about 50 minutes solid, like on a spreadsheet, I have to take a 10-minute break. Otherwise, my productivity just decreases. So that's usually when I walk into your office, and I usually have a snack, and I'm bothering you.
He walks into my office, gets a snack out of the break room, walks into my office, and interrupts my concentration.
Whatever he's got going on, yeah, I just walk in there. So I'd say 50 minutes.
50 minutes. I'm a good 2-hour person.
God
I need to
damn.
concentrate for 2 hours to get stuff done, and so rare do I get to do that. This afternoon, I've kind of thrown all of y'all out of my life for the afternoon. I'm getting stuff done. I have an episode to finish for Raven's Elf.
All right, I got another one. You ready?
Yeah.
This one's animals. What animal do you think would look best wearing stilettos?
We already know this. We already know. It's a rabbit.
A rabbit?
Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica
all
Rabbit.
day, every day.
For sure. I don't know why, in my mind, I picture something funny like a Komodo dragon with stilettos.
And lipstick. Just your type. Okay. I don't like that one. I've already had that one. Let me pull this one out.
Here, you want me to grab another one?
No, I got it.
All right.
Which famous person would you least like to sit next to on a 48-hour bus ride? Which famous person
Okay.
would you least like to sit next to on a 48-hour bus ride? You know what? I just think of this. There's not very many people I want to sit next to for 48 hours, much less a famous person.
You're sitting across from the guy you would pick.
I know.
You know, honestly, I do have a legitimate answer. His name is Hakuho Yo, and he is the 57th Yokozuna in sumo wrestling, which is like the highest rank you can achieve. And I think currently, let me look it up. I think Hakuho weighs over 375 pounds, and he's like over 6 foot tall. So I would hate to sit next to him for 48 hours.
I'm not a small guy, but I'm not huge either. I got stuck between two 400-plus pound, 6+ foot people on a plane.
Wow.
Me sitting in the middle seat.
Yikes. So you were the sweaty.
I was the cream center of a sweaty airline Oreo.
Oh, God.
And it was the vanilla kind.
Anyway, so speaking of card games, right? So I was talking about the hobbies that I used to play a lot. I mean, you've played Magic the Gathering. You play it with us occasionally.
Yep.
I didn't realize that all of those cards that Jared has at your guys' house, which is, it's got to be approaching
Thousands.
1,000. Yeah. Those are all yours. You purchased a majority of those.
Yeah, so we used to have even more. Here's what happens, okay? I will be looking in a couple of different places that I buy cards.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to buy a lot of cards off of Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And what I would find is people would be like, I want to sell my whole collection of cards. It's over 1,000 cards, $25.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, bing, bing, bing. And, land cards galore, and you're like, I don't really want all these.
Yeah. And a lot of those people that don't sort through it, but every time I come over and I look through those cards, I'm like, this thing's worth $20, this thing's worth $50.
Yep.
Like,
and so we have a lot of cards, and we're getting some more. We bought some at CreepyCon, as we've talked about already. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to let Jared hear this right away, but he's developing a zombie black and white deck.
yes, he is.
I have some contacts.
Ooh, there you go. I started playing Magic the Gathering when I was fucking 12 or 13, I think, like that. Mm-hmm. The very first card that I ever remember playing with was Sphinx of Jawar Isle. And I actually found that card at the booth at CreepyCon, and I bought it just for sentiment. It's not a great card, but the sentimental value.
How much you pay for
Well, because it's not good, I paid like $4. You know,
I might have that one.
I'm sure you guys probably do, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, like, that was like the biggest thing when I was in high school. People played Magic the Gathering. That's like all we played. And I was curious, like, when you were in high school, like, what were the hobbies that everybody was into?
D&D.
Yeah.
But like first edition, like the manual was like nothing. It was before it ever got big.
You're a D&D hipster? You were playing it before it was cool?
Yeah. And you know, board games were really big back then.
Like what kind?
Monopoly, Life, those kind of games were really big. Card games, all kinds of card games. Poker was really big.
Dude.
I didn't get to play.
Do you know how to play Rummy?
Beat my ass.
Do you know how to play Rummy?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Ollie randomly showed me how to play Rummy. I've been kicking his ass.
Rummy or gin Rummy?
What's gin Rummy?
You'll have to look it up. It's a little different. You play with a couple more cards.
And a glass of gin?
Or rum.
I was curious though, because like with me plunging back into Magic the Gathering, and both my partners are really into it too, and I've been buying them cards, and I'm like, God damn it, dude, why does every hobby I have to get into be so fucking expensive?
Hobbies are just expensive.
I mean, what's like the most expensive hobby? Like when you first started getting into it, like what was it?
Podcasting.
Well, you've completely blown whatever I was going to say out of the water.
No, I mean, this was always going to be more than just a hobby.
Of course.
It's therapy. Let's see.
I was like thinking though about all the hobbies that I've started and stopped. And the dumbest hobby that I ever got into, and sorry to any listener that actually does this, I do respect people that are really good at this. Aficionados, yeah. But I got into cigar smoking as a hobby for like 2 years. You know, the last Starbucks that I was the manager of, it was across from the West Town Mall here in Knoxville, and connecting in the parking lot was a cigar shop called Smokies. And it apparently had been there for a very long time. Still there today, from what I think. Yep. And I used to go over there just to get a break from Starbucks, because if I took my break inside of the store or in my car, people would come up and like, Jacob, real quick, we need help.
I know what that feels like.
But everybody hates. I know. Everybody universally basically hates the smell of burning tobacco now. So that was my safe haven. I would go into the cigar shop and people would be like, oh, dude, I'll just wait till you come out, you know, before that they would ask me any questions. And I was like, well, you know, since I'm here, I was still smoking cigarettes at the time. I was like, well, since I'm here, I'll get a pack of cigarettes. I can work on my laptop, whatever, because you could smoke indoors.
And then you can smell like it when you go back to work.
Yeah, it was great because people wouldn't get close to me. And then I was like, well, fuck it, dude. I'm in a smoke shop that has a cigar club. Let me just start smoking some cigars. Ended up getting some suggestions from some people that were there. I smoked Ligeiradoras, which were, yeah, I know. But they were like coffee flavored in a weird way because they grew the tobacco really close to coffee beans in Cuba. And the cross-pollination made it where you could taste it. And then I was like, you know me, the moment I get involved in something, I want to learn everything about it. I went on this fucking deep dive about cigar. I was a paying member of the cigar club as well. I was smoking like 5 to 7 cigars a day, Ed. It was ridiculous. My teeth got so yellow. It was disgusting. And then my grandma finally was just like, Jacob, if you come here one more time smelling like cigars, you can eat your food outside. So I stopped. And then I moved away from that store. I moved to the one in Alcoa, so I stopped doing it. So what was like the dumbest hobby that you got into?
Oh, God. I guess all my hobbies are dumb, but I wouldn't say it was dumb, but with a lot of hobbies, there's a, you know, if you're a collector, there's a value to what you're collecting.
Yeah.
Or there's a reward that you win a game or things like that. My hobby is the one that I would say is the dumbest, but I enjoy the most, is collecting Sam. I'm
Boy,
obsessive.
are you good at it.
Mm-hmm. a hobbyist at collecting SAM. I wouldn't say it's anything more than a hobby, but I collect everything that I can find that has SAM on it, and almost obsessively. Like when we're at cons and stuff, and we have the sticker packs we're putting out. Everybody always brings all the SAM over to me, even though it's the same stickers, and I have a hard time letting go of some of those things, even though I've got 50 of them. So I'd say that's probably the dumbest because it doesn't really do anything but give me happiness and joy, which is the point.
I mean, a hobby at the end of the day, if that's what it does, is it really dumb?
No, but I don't. I play D&D.
No,
and so I don't think that's dumb. It's a dumb hobby, I'm sure. Some Magic the Gathering. I mean, I could just keep going. Board games, puzzles, all of those things are hobbies for me. If you talk about what would I do, then we can get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sure, but you're limited purely by the amount of free time you have.
Well, no, not even that. Jared and I are hobbyists. Almost everything we do revolves around a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And we're limited mainly and primarily by space.
Oh, yeah.
For example, we both want to do woodworking.
I can see
don't
it.
know where to do that at.
You guys don't have space. You have a lovely house, don't get me wrong. But you don't have space for a wood workshop.
It's a small condo. We would both like to do metal work.
I could see you guys being
all
like
that stuff.
dwarves, like the mythical dwarves,
right?
Living in a mountain, hitting an anvil.
All of those things are things we want to do, So I haven't found a hobby that doesn't interest me. We watch YouTube channels about bookmaking.
You were telling me about that. Yeah. What is it about bookmaking?
It's actually making the paper, cutting the paper, putting them into books.
Yeah.
Like journals.
Making the leather for like the cover and everything like that. That makes sense. I think the dumbest hobby I ever got into, and I'm glad that I stopped, was I did deep water soloing, which is I would hike out to any sort of bluffs or cliff outcrops here in the East Tennessee region, and I would have to make sure that it was over a deep enough body of water because I would climb these rock faces. I would jump into the water, I would swim up to the rock face, and I would scramble up the side of these cliffs. I'm not exaggerating, Ed. Some cases, they were like 30-plus feet high, And if I fell off, I wasn't using any safety equipment. So I would just fall off into the deep water.
So my question is, were you taking people with you?
No, that's what made it really dangerous.
So dumb hobbies.
Yeah, it was the definition of a dumb hobby for sure. Yeah. I remember one time I went out to... I think it was called Sheep's Bluffs or something like that in Lenoir City, which was around the lake that they had out there. Mm-hmm. And there were these cliffs that we actually went to when I was in high school. We would jump off of them in high school. Like we'd be drinking, smoking, whatever, and we'd jump off these things. And then when I got into rock climbing, I started out in a gym and I was bouldering a lot. And then naturally the algorithm on my YouTube and social media was like, hey, here's some more rock climbing content. And I found out about deep water soloing. And I thought, hey, as an adrenaline junkie, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds right up my alley. So I would hike out there and I would, it was like about a half-mile hike to the bluffs. I'd get there. I got there earlier in the afternoon, like it was probably 1 in the afternoon, and I was climbing up these cliff faces. There was one... each of the cliffs had a different name, and the biggest one was Yoshi, and Yoshi was 65 feet high from the water to the very top, right? And the problem with it is that the first, I would say 25 feet, it came out to a ledge that jutted out about 15 feet, and I climbed up to that point, and I could rest, and then I could climb up the rest of it. Now, there was no guide on how to get up there. Like it wasn't an established.
You had to make your own way.
Exactly, it wasn't an established route whatsoever. And I started climbing up it, and my main concern was that if I slip I have to make sure that I can push off this cliff face and not smack into the 15-foot jutting out ledge and break everything or knock myself out and then fall into the water. So I'm probably about 41 feet up this cliff face. I've found a really good crack that I could really scramble up. And about the time that I'm at a point of no return where it was a blind grab over an outcrop, these teenagers had no idea that I was there climbing this rock face. I was there by myself. They showed up. It was like the middle of summer. They just wanted to jump off the cliff, you know? And as they were jumping off, they were knocking sticks and dirt. Because when I looked up and I heard them laughing and jumping off, I looked up and dirt was getting in my eyes and I couldn't wipe it away because of the way I had to hold on to this. And I'm trying to yell at them like, hey guys, there's somebody climbing down here. They had no idea where it was coming from. They had no idea who was even talking. So they kept jumping. And then eventually I had to push off of it, of the face. And when I fell into the water because I pushed off to make sure I didn't smack into that ledge, I fell shoulder and head backwards into the water, like my feet up into the air. And the moment I did that, all the water rushed into my ear. This is going to sound really gross. I couldn't hear for days. Like it sounded really muffled. I thought I had ruptured my eardrums. And I kept waiting for like the water to escape, but nothing ever fixed it. I had to go to the doctor, and when they looked in my ear, the force of the water shooting into my ear canal compacted all of my earwax flush against my eardrum, and when they took it out, it looked like a wad of gum.
That's pretty gross.
It was like the first time you ever got glasses as a kid, and you're like, I can see. I was like, holy shit, I can hear again? Wow, this is nuts, dude. Yeah, that was the dumbest hobby I ever got into.
Yeah, I think that should be, you've retired from that hobby, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I just climb it on site now.
You're 30 now.
Yeah, I can't be doing that stuff anymore. That'd be the dumbest way to die, too.
So just so you're aware, I had no idea what deep water solo climbing was.
Yeah.
When you said deep water solo, I imagined that you were going to dive without like an air tank as deep as you could and come up.
I think that's called free water soloing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I imagined. And then I looked some of this up and I thought, yeah, that's pretty much the dumbest thing you could do.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun for the most part. It's refreshing. You get extremely exhausted because you have to swim back to the cliff face. So I could really only do it for about an hour before I was exhausted. Anyway.
It really makes me, I was going to say probably a hobby that I started and gave up was I was going to collect every single DVD or Blu-ray of every horror movie ever released.
Ever?
Yeah.
Dude, you would have to have...
Exactly.
That would be ridiculous.
Exactly. That's why I gave
How
it
long
up.
did you attempt this?
I don't know. I don't have them all now, but about 800 CDs.
God
DVDs.
damn, dude. This is insane. Yeah, no. I think the most thing that I'm willing to collect are Magic the Gathering cards. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I'm lying to myself the same way everybody lied about collecting Beanie Babies. You're like, this will be worth money someday,
They're not going to be worth anything. They're worth what you're willing to pay for them today. But just like I found out from buying all those cards are still usable, but they're bigger and better cards now.
Yeah. It's called power creep. It's kind of like your car. Like a car 20 years from now is going to blow cars that are made today completely out of the water.
Mm-hmm. So, God, can you still hear that leaf blower out? Can you? First of all, listeners, we apologize if you can still hear a leaf blower outside.
We're sorry. Control it.
We can't control it.
I'm telling you right now, Ed,
it's across the street now.
If somebody somewhere, maybe I should dedicate my life to this. If somebody somewhere could build a leaf blower that was quiet, they would be the richest man in landscaping.
They probably would be.
Why haven't they done it? I don't know shit about leaf blowers.
I don't know. We have 2 leaf blowers at home. One of them's fairly quiet, and it's a big one, but it's electric. And then we have this little electric leaf blower that's super powerful, but it's louder than a jet engine. I will say this. I was shocked, now that we're talking about leaf blowers. Thank you for hanging in while we're talking about leaf blowers. I was shocked to find out that leaf blowers, especially gas-powered leaf blowers, are banned in some cities.
Like where?
Like a lot of California areas.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet HOA. Well, that's got to be a bitch because if you've got to like get lawn trimmings and like bushes and leaves and stuff, you have to go out there and rake it or pay somebody to rake it.
Yeah.
Well, like here's the idea, right? They make those quiet fans for like houses where they're like air blades. Why don't they just do that on a bigger scale? It'll probably still be louder than the fan that's in your house, but like it's got to be quieter than any commercial leaf blower out there.
You mean like a Dyson?
Yeah.
I think that the mechanism would be so big that you wouldn't be able to lift it from a physics standpoint.
Then you just have a little wagon or a little car. I don't know, man. There's got to be somewhere.
You know what? We are a micro world. Everything gets smaller.
Tell me about it. I think here's the thing. I was actually talking to somebody else about this the other day. The thing that I love about doing these podcasts is that in an essence, because once it's on the internet, it's there forever. These are going to be like time capsules that we can go back and listen to. And I hope that I can come back and listen to this and be like, oh, how silly I was. If only they knew that they were going to make silent leaf blowers 2 years from the time they recorded this. And if they take my idea, Ed, I swear to God, when I was a kid in elementary school, my teachers gave us all a project to invent something. And we had to draw the blueprints, and they talked about how the patent system worked and all this other stuff. I'm not making this up. I came up with the idea of a fishing pole that instead of you having to cast it, right, because I would always get it hung up on a tree branch or something.
Yep.
When I whipped it back, I said, wouldn't it be awesome if your hook and your bobble was attached to a slingshot and you could just point it in the direction you wanted and click a button and it would launch it out? Do you remember the infomercials? The infomercials.
Words today.
I can't do it. The infomercials for the rocket fishing rod.
Mm-hmm.
That came out shortly after I came up with it. Not that they ever randomly saw that, but I felt as a little kid, I was like, they stole my idea.
So you just happened this morning. You know what we named the theater for Appalachian Horror Fest?
What?
You helped name it.
What? What did I name it?
I want you to think about it for a minute.
A sanctuary?
No. You and the boys came up with it. I was just talking about this morning. Duskmorn Mortuary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you know what I found last night as I was shopping for something as a surprise for Jared?
What?
There's a whole Magic the Gathering
set, yeah, called
Duskmore.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's why I thought it sounded so good.
Probably. Okay, so I have an answer to your dilemma.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a thing called an acoustician.
Acoustician?
People who study acoustics.
Oh, okay.
The answer to why they can't make a quiet leaf blower. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Although they say everything is possible, but the acceleration of air through an orifice creates noise. If you want speed and pressure of a leaf blower, you're stuck with the noise.
Oh, because of the nozzle at the end. If you increase it to reduce the sound, it wouldn't be as concentrated.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, so this is one of those things that it's just the way that it is.
Just the way it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, future Jacob, when you listen back to this, if they figure out a way to do it, I'll be surprised. Or maybe I'm sitting on my empire of quiet leaf blowers, and I go, how naive I was. If you could invent anything to replace a current thing right now, what would it be?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I think that I would create a new printing technology.
Like 3D printing or like 2D printing?
Just like paper type printing that would do away with edges. Sometimes I need to print something and, we're stuck with that 0.25 edge on it at all times. That's just the first thing that came up because it's a problem in my life right now.
It's just such a, well, I mean, it's topical, I guess.
Yeah.
I just find it crazy, speaking of inventions, that I was talking to you early today about hobbies, and you were showing me some of the video games that you used to play or that were big when you were in high school versus now what we've got. The fact that they've invented VR, I'm shocked that it wasn't bigger than it actually was. I really am.
Yeah. I was showing Jacob the Atari 2300.
Yeah.
And the joystick that I used, and why I have sometimes so much trouble with like a controller today.
Yeah, the thumbstick.
Yeah.
That's so much different compared to what it was.
And
could you have imagined that video games would have progressed the way that they did?
no,
Well, you were big into Star Trek. I feel like you probably...
I can imagine, but back then I wasn't thinking about things like that. So it was not something that I imagined was going to happen because it was already mind-blowing, the things that we had then.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, and so I didn't think about the future. Today, I think, what's the next big thing? Because it's always one up on everything. You know, but you're right. You know, we have 2 VR systems at home.
Yeah, I have one too.
We don't use them very often. One, because whatever that mechanism is that it plays with your head, you know, makes you nauseous after a little bit.
It legit gives me motion sickness.
Yeah.
You know how
You're
motion
motion
sick I
sick
get.
anyway. You're just sick anyway.
I'm just a sick individual.
You're a sick individual. Yes, but I was just thinking, you know, I showed you a video, and speaking of that, I wanted to tell you something about it, but didn't have time before we started recording. I showed him a VR, a guy playing a VR version of, or it's not really a version, playing a Silent Hill remake in VR.
Yeah,
Using
it
VR.
looked beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It looks scary as shit. I would never play it.
Well, I would, but I can't stay on long enough to get through the game.
I basically last like an hour before my headache gets so bad. And I would like eat ginger candies while playing it because I wanted to like VR so bad.
And I think VR is great. It's just not there yet. It was
hoping-
launched, you know, MetaQuest and all that. It was just launched too early.
Oh yeah, how's the metaverse doing? All my real estate investments on the metaverse.
Anyway, the thing I was wanting to tell you when we were watching that video is that next year, the Return to Silent Hill movie is coming out.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's gonna be badass.
I'm really looking forward to it. All the Silent Hill franchise has just been so good, and it's done so well.
Dude, I love seeing Silent Hill cosplays at cons that we're at too. There were a couple we saw a couple weeks back at CreepyCon that were just dope. Speaking of inventions and like VR, when are they going to make the holodeck? When are we going to get our holodeck?
We have
dude?
holodecks.
What? Where?
We're not using them for the same thing, but you can go to Vegas and watch a concert with Michael Jackson in it, and it looks like he's there.
What the fuck? At the Sphere? Are you considering the Sphere a holodeck? No, this is like an experience in a room. Maybe we should go. I hear Vegas is dying anyways, like in terms of like tourism, and a lot of people want to go.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I think it's just some doomer circle jerk on Reddit where everybody wants it to be true. Yeah, you know I used to live in Vegas.
Did you know I used to play in Vegas?
Really? Mm-hmm. Doing what?
What? You know the rule. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, it's a Cirque du Soleil production. The Michael Jackson One show.
I've always wanted to go to a Cirque. Is it Cirque du Soleil?
Cirque du Soleil.
You've been to watch it.
I've been to multiple ones.
Is it worth the hype?
Yes. Yes, they're amazing. If they come to Knoxville, you should go.
I'm thinking
You
about
should
it.
take me.
Yeah. We should just go together. We'll write it
Hey,
off
how
as a
about
business
that?
expense
How about-
for
Yeah.
Small Raven Media.
We might get fired.
We can explain it to the budget. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, guys, we needed to go. There's a circus that pops up in the West Ham Mall parking lot every year that looks cool. It's like a spooky, freaky kind
We
of
go.
like. You guys have been?
We went this past year. Yeah.
I was afraid it was going to be too scary, so I didn't go.
Nah, you would be fine.
Really? Yeah. Are you saying that just to lull me into a false sense of security?
Yes, but you would also be fine. It's not that scary. It's a lot of high energy stuff happening though.
Like what? Like people like swinging?
Acrobatics, and there's a storyline. There's magic happening. There's all kinds of things happening. I'm not going to rent it for you.
Okay. Well, we should go.
We should.
I think we should go.
It's in October most of the time.
If I was a member of a circus, who would I be? Like a lion tamer, right?
You would be the small person clown. I mean, you make me laugh all the time.
That's fair.
And I laugh at you all the time.
I actually used to like daydream about wanting to be a clown when I was younger. Like, because my grandmother would take me, my sister, and my twin Zach to the free circuses that I think the Shriners would put on. And I always just thought it was awesome when the clown would come out. I always just was like, man, everybody likes this guy. He's
You're
funny.
down with the clown.
I'm down with the clown, bro. But dude, when I looked into it, you know, clown college is harder than regular college in a lot of aspects. Like one, you have to be, there's like one clown college that's like renowned in this country. I forget what it's called. Maybe it was Barnum and Bailey's like clown college or some shit like that. Their acceptance rate is less than Harvard, right? And then I forget how much it costs. Steve-O from Jackass attempted to do it.
Yeah. He's completely changed.
Well, talk about a 180, man.
Yeah.
If you would have told me that Steve-O went from being the Steve-O that I remember growing up in high school watching,
Being the jackass.
and then being a vegan animal rights activist on like just crazy. Like he's so about it. He's sober. I don't even think he smokes weed. He's like sober. And he looks so much happier. He's got new teeth. He had to get all new teeth.
Yeah, there's a whole series that he did about finding out he had bacteria, a certain type of bacteria that was causing a lot of problems in his mouth.
Just out of like Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O actually ended up really kind of like stepping into their own new chapter in life. Mm-hmm. But dude, have you seen the other co-host they had, Bam Margera? That's sad, man. Bam Margera, I mean, obviously he's struggling with addiction. Apparently he took the death of that one Ryan Dunn guy really, really hard. They were very close friends, and he's just kind of been on this weird spiral ever since. But I would have definitely bet that Steve-O would have probably have been dead by the time I got to 30, and he's healthier than me, and he's probably like 47, 48 right now. So let that be a lesson to all of our listeners. If Steve-O can figure his shit out, so can we.
Yeah. I one of the things that I saw, speaking of Johnny Knoxville, who's local, that's why he has his last name. Mm-hmm. He did the prank panel, which was an ABC thing, and I remember
seeing clips for
it. Yeah. He also appeared in History of the World Part 1, which was an animated series. He was a voice actor.
Speaking of Knoxville, I was watching a YouTube channel, which is pretty well known in the college football sphere. I think it's called like John Boy Speaks Football or something like that, and it's like meme videos or whatever. But, you know, we're ramping up because football season is just right around the corner. And they were talking about the most obnoxious fan bases in the SEC. Tennessee was ranked 3rd. We were ranked above Georgia somehow. Make that make any sense. Mm-hmm. I have never barked at another human being before, but the first time I got barked at, I was going to a Georgia game like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and we were taking the shuttle. And I was wearing my UT, you know, stuff, whatever. And there was a group of Georgia Bulldog fans that were on the bus with us, and they just randomly, all in unison, just started barking like dogs. I'd never seen that before. How are we more obnoxious than them?
Mm-hmm. It's probably the color, which I like, but it's probably the color.
That's fair. And you know who was ranked number 1?
Who?
LSU fans.
Yeah, they're pretty obnoxious. Sorry, any LSU fans. We're UT fans, so we have to say that. Well, that's it for today.
Sorry for that was just a stream of consciousness.
Yeah, we didn't really plan much today because we had a lot to say and none of it fit into a neat little package.
There's a little potpourri today. Hey, any listeners, if you guys have some weird hobbies that you're into, like if you collect bugs or stamps or something like that, hit us up. I'd actually really like to know about that. Also, I'll say this one last thing real quick. because I just remembered when it comes to like hobbies like Magic the Gathering, they made the 1 of 1 Lord of the Rings like Ring of Power card. It was the rarest card they ever printed. Post Malone is a massive Magic the Gathering fan, and he bought it for like $2 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy that for Jared.
Oh, I thought you loved him.
I do. But
You're like, I already got him the one ring that matters. I don't give a shit.
he has that one ring on his finger. Anyway, it's too early to be thinking about Halloween.
No, yep.
But we are. We love you guys. Go check out Appalachian Horror Fest at appalachianhorrorfest.com. Buy your tickets. We're going to be hosting it this year again.
And I'm going to be the main host. So if you guys didn't get enough of listening to me talk through the podcast, come see it live, baby.
See y'all later. Now, family, you adults have a few chores to do. Go on over to ravensvale.com and see about doing your chores on social media. Follow us on all the social media platforms that we've made available just for you folks. Like, listen, subscribe, and follow wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you don't mind, leave us a good rating and a kind comment. You can find The Cauldron on your favorite podcast platform. And again, make sure you hit that follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes.
The Cauldron is a production of Small Raven Media. Today's episode was hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. Audio engineering and sound design by Nick Devan at Nicky D Sound. Copyrighted 2025, Small Raven Media. All rights reserved.